Cool. That's simple as
You're
that.
going to sit like that? Or
Yeah, I do.
you were leaning back a second ago, so it's all changed.
Yeah, that's the other question. Are we able to, like, because obviously I would have thought classic me and True Geordie, just move about and
Constantly.
expressive. Is that going to be a problem?
You
can move around a little bit.
So yeah.
We can.
Yeah.
Rolling. Right, mate. Finally.
Finally, mate.
Been a while.
Yeah.
You've taken a fuck ton of time off of YouTube this year. You're being hidden away. Nobody knows what the hell you've been doing. Mm-hmm. This is more secretive than most professional boxers' training camps ever. What's it been like to just switch off and be not a YouTuber anymore, just a boxer?
Well, I mean, like, for me, like, firstly, the whole thing of me, like, going away and, like, why I'm doing that, it's not for any other reason bar, like, I've just been focusing. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what it comes down to. Like, I've just been doing what I need to do, limiting all the distractions, all the extra things, just so I can just focus and get to where I need to be. What's it been like? I mean, I've been tested in every way. That's what it's been like. Like, when we talk about mentally, physically, emotionally, every single way, I've had a challenge and been pushed to my absolute limit.
I remember the video you did after our last podcast where I sort of said to you, you just look like you're phoning it in, you're not interested, your heart isn't in it anymore. And it was clear you did that video, you had the ghost thing coming out and you were in a transitional phase, you were searching for something. Is this what you were searching for?
That is the thing, man. Like, I literally said those words to you, I'm looking for something to actually challenge me.
Yeah.
You know, and when this came along, like this opportunity, I sort of had the vision of where this could go, like the whole boxing thing, going against JJ. This is it, you know? And that is why I have completely dedicated and committed to doing everything I can to be prepared. Because this is the challenge. This is what can really propel me to that next level.
What do you mean by next level of what? As an entertainer? What do you want to...
So by next level, I mean, like, so I've had the challenge of, like, YouTube, making videos, can I build the audience, can I, you know, make good videos? And I've faced up to that challenge and I feel like I've done a good job. When I say next level, I mean more like a different level. Like something that can show a different side to me that I wasn't able to express through YouTube, or at least
so
feel
inside.
Like
this is about you as a person growing, not about, you know, achieving money and all of that stuff.
That's the thing. With this has been an absolute challenge of what I am about as a person. When I say dedicate, when I say commit, I mean not just when I'm feeling good, you know, and that's, I feel like with YouTube, I was sort of getting to that point where I was sort of, do I feel good? Do I feel not good doing this? Is it because of YouTube? Is it because of me? I was kind of confused, and this has really cut it out simple as no matter what I feel like, I've got to go to work every single day.
You've never had that for a long time, because as YouTubers, it's a fucking luxury.
Yeah.
We can get up or not get up.
Yeah.
And me and you both have talked about mental health in the past, and sort of some days you don't necessarily feel like it. In this scenario, you know, if you don't get up and the other guy does get up, it's going to be bad news for you down the road. So almost that drives you, it forces you to get out of bed in the morning for a different reason. Yeah. What has it been like for you to know that?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, when I say it's, like, this whole situation as a whole has been one of the great, well, probably the thing that I needed at this point in my life. Like, I absolutely mean it, because I was going a bit, like, when I say off the rails, I mean, like, not knowing where I was going, not knowing what I wanted. And with that, like, regimented lifestyle of getting up, having to face whatever challenge it is that day, and having to, because if not, I'm going to lose, you know. It's been the best thing that's happened to me in a long time.
I remember in the last podcast you talked about integrity. Yeah. And I can say that's so fucking important to you. Yeah. Moving forward, you know, you're talking about how this has tested you. What way do you feel like it's tested you the most as a person?
So, as a person,
Was there a moment where you look back at your training camp that you can describe to me now where you say, there was this day and I remember this day sticks out more than any other? Or is it a period of time where it was grueling?
That's the thing. Realistically, I mean, if we fully break it down, like every single day there is honestly something new, and that's no exaggeration. There is something new that is testing me to a point that realistically has not been pushed that far before. As a more overall, if I split it into like physical, mental, like physically, obviously, you know, I've done weightlifting, I've done sport before, but we have trained to an absolute elite level, like to my maximum potential with this. So I've obviously had to face the knee injury in amongst that physical stuff. And yeah, like that is what it is. Obviously, the physical side has not, in my opinion, for me, been as testing as I'd say the mental side. And that was obviously the question: is Weller going to be able to take it?
People keep mentioning this a lot.
Going to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
And when I say that has been the most testing, that's because that is what I've had to overcome and level up. Because say like my physical was here and my mental was here, obviously in order to get them both up to top, I'm going to have to do more work mentally. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like I've faced a lot, and what I've dealt with through the lows, through the downs, through honestly the lowest, and I have felt the lowest I've ever felt in my life during this experience, and overcoming that is where I'm getting my confidence from. That is where, because I have proven to myself on a daily basis what I'm about, and I'm not chatting shit because I prove it.
I'm proud of you, mate. That sounds really fucking good. I think I wanted that for you coming into this, and I know there will have been moments where you've doubted yourself, and it seems like you've come through that on the other side. Sparring sessions, things like that. How have you found learning the skill of boxing? Have you fallen in love with it, or is it something that was a necessary evil to get you where you wanted to be? Yeah,
so obviously at first, like, I mean, you saw it in the Theo video, it wasn't exactly like a natural ability that I just had. I've had to do more than anything, the boxing, you know, aside from the fitness, aside from all of that, the boxing, it's tedious. It's very repetitive. It's not like overly complex. At the end of the day, you got a left hand, you got a right hand, and it's how you throw them. And it's just been a lot of that, getting the technique as spot on as I can. Like I say, just very tedious, very repetitive, but I think it's that is, as well, builds your mind. The fact that no matter how tedious it is, how grueling or whatever, you do it. And it's that sense of professionalism that I feel like I've really grown into along this journey, that no matter what, you get the job done.
Self-esteem is something I'm picking up from you that I hadn't seen in you in a while. Like, I think when you feel like you're floundering or you're not fulfilling your potential, we all feel like we're letting ourselves down. Yeah. And now, the lad I'm sitting talking to now is like, I can tell you've grown up a fuck ton since the last time I spoke to you, because it's like a boy to a man. Yeah. I swear to God, the difference is unbelievable. And I can tell all those rounds and testing yourself, now you know who you are. Yeah. And you've really found out who you are in this. Yeah. I can tell. You see yourself differently now. How do the people closest around you see you after going through all this? Because they're kind of going through it with you, and also I can imagine some of them are a little bit, oh God, he's getting in a friggin' boxing ring,
Yeah, obviously, like, the first person that comes to mind is my mum.
Yeah.
Right? From the beginning, the thought of, obviously, either of us, like, just the violence, she wasn't too keen on that. Yeah. But saying that, she could not have been any more supportive. Like, honestly, my whole family, everyone close to me, I think they know how much it means to me, and they have literally done everything they can. Like, my mum, she makes me a dinner like every night. Like, honestly, she brings it around. Like, it's so sweet. But that's what she does, it because it's like she feels like that's her contribution to the process. Mm-hmm. And it helps, man. Like, I come in at like 9 o'clock from training at night, and you know, it's unreal to just have a dinner there ready to go. My sister, like, she's always there. She's like a best mate to me. Yeah. You know, we go on dog walks. She knows me inside out, so I can talk to her on a level. And yeah,
have any of them come to you and said, I'm scared
Oh yeah.
of anything happening to you,
Oh yeah.
how did that make you feel, and what happened?
So the thing is, right, at the beginning, when I myself can't see, like, I've never done this before, I've never done boxing before, so I don't know how I'm meant to feel when I'm ready or how I'm going to feel when I'm, at the end of camp. So I'd say at the beginning it's kind of more difficult to, when I say like convince them I'm going to be able to do this, it's sort of just like reinstore a bit of like...
Because to them, you're their baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I mean, at the beginning I was just saying like, look, you know me, you know how dedicated, when I'm passionate about something, I'm obsessed. And I do everything I can to do, do what I need to do to get to where I need to be. And realistically, throughout, that sort of idea has been my philosophy. And now I have sort of the footage, I have the stuff that we filmed along the way to be like, Mum, look, like, I can do it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, like, honestly, like more things like that. And they've seen me grow. They've seen me grow overall. And I think that's what's given them more confidence.
Yeah. That obsession
Yeah.
is something I have reminded people of when everyone's saying, JJ's bigger, he's taller, etc., etc. And I'm like, yeah, but there's not long to prepare for this fight. And whoever, in my opinion, can be obsessed and can just literally focus on this and only this for that time is going to have an advantage. When you're coming into this fight, is that part of one of your weapons, would you say, in this?
Yeah, that's the thing. The one thing at the beginning I said is I don't want there to be anything that happens on that night that I am not prepared for, right? That comes as a surprise. And obviously what comes with that is by doing a fuck ton.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that belief that I have, when I stand there ready to go and walk out to that ring, that I can stand there and go, there is nothing more I could have done to prepare myself for this moment. That is what I think will give me confidence more than anything. Whereas if you're standing there like, oh, maybe when I was doing the New Year's Eve party at this moment, I could have been training, or when I was traveling to Japan, I could have been training, properly. That's what I didn't want to leave.
Are you taking a little bit of confidence from the fact that you feel you're putting the work in, and then you're seeing JJ going on these holidays or whatever he's doing?
That's the thing. Like, I try not to, okay, the facts are he's doing what he's doing, but regardless whether he's shit, whether he's the second coming of Anthony Joshua, right? I'm gonna do my thing, and that's it. Like, I'm not gonna take confidence from his weaknesses. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna take confidence from my strengths. Do you know what I mean? And it's that I want to sort of like focus on rather than what he's doing. He may be going and doing all these things, and that's what works for him. Maybe that wouldn't work for me. I want my life to be as simple as possible when I'm preparing for something like this.
Because then, whatever happens, I guess you're feeling like you'll have left everything in the ring and given 100%, and you're not going to question yourself as did I do my best?
Yeah,
it's a good attitude to have, mate. What do you think, looking back on this training camp, has been your favourite part of it? Is there a bit that you've enjoyed the most?
Enjoyed.
We've all seen some of the sparring pictures.
Yeah.
There's blood on the gloves, blood on you, blood everywhere.
Yeah, man. We kind of touched on it, but I've just enjoyed, when we say like finding myself sort of thing, like finding what I'm about. And I think that because of how for so long how I was feeling the opposite, to now at the end of this sort of journey feel that like reinstalled, I'd say that's what I'm going to take away most from this fight.
On the flip side, is there anything that you look back at and think, fucking hell, I never want to do that again?
Get another knee injury, for sure. But like, I mean, like,
do you know when you're doing the sparring, for example?
Yeah.
This is new to you.
Yeah.
Some people, I know Ricky Gervais did a charity boxing match a while back, very different to this, obviously, but he said when he first went in, the idea of hitting someone just didn't feel right because he'd never done it before. I'm not a violent man, and it took him a while to get used to that. Is that something that you found easy or hard?
Throwing punches, like that's the thing. I've never really thrown punches or been in too many fights before, but that like throwing punches wasn't really the issue. That's the thing. Like, I don't view it as I'm throwing like out of, because I almost saying like from that Ricky Gervais comment that he's relating it to like emotion, like the idea of hurting someone with like bad intent, and it's like that whole emotional side of it. I recognise very early as you don't want to include emotion too much around this. It's I'm doing the action because I'm to win. I don't really see it as...
You see it more as a sport than a fight. Because so you feel like if you go in there and be hothead Weller, you'll leave yourself vulnerable.
Realistically, the first person to lose their head loses. I think that's basically it. If you can't handle yourself, you can't, like, no matter what happens to you, like say getting beat down, if you lose your head, you know, like say Joshua Klitschko, if when Joshua got hit down, first ever time hit down, he could have lost his head and bang, gone. But the fact that he controlled his emotion and went forward and did what he did, he wins, and that's the difference.
You have mentioned Joshua, you spoke about the Conor McGregor documentary, and how you've drawn from these professional fighters. Is there anyone who stands out who you've watched more than anyone else and you think, oh, that guy, he's one person I really admire and I've taken a lot from him?
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah, for real. Purely because, more than anything, his explosiveness, and not only that, his cold-bloodedness, like the way he, like, not necessarily in the later stages of his career.
You mean prime?
Like when he was getting it, like, not when he was getting all mouthy, like, oh fuck you or whatever, like, not that, just where he'd go to the ring, no bullshit, get the job done, and then he picks up his opponent and says, like, good match, goes home. Like, as in, it's no bullshit, it's doing what he needs to do and winning. Do you know what I mean? And that's, like, I take a lot of inspiration from that. Yeah.
You walk in the gym, first day especially, here's the YouTuber.
Yeah.
Let's rough him up a bit. How did they see you then?
Now, this is the thing, obviously, you know, they were... They obviously didn't say this, but obviously you get a little bit of a sense of, like, you know, what's he doing?
Fucking pretty boy.
Like, what's he doing? Surely he loves his face too much to like do this. Like, is he for real, sort of thing? But at the same time, you sense that sense of respect where they realise that, you know, you're not invincible, and who's to say that I'm not going to go in there and, you know, give them some difficulty. So there is that balance. Obviously.
Do you think you've won their respect over time?
I believe so, yeah. I believe so. I don't know. I think more than anything, it's the fact that whenever they go there, I'm there. Mm-hmm. I think that's the sort of, they realise what I'm putting into this.
After this is all said and done, will you carry on boxing? As in, even just as a hobby?
Yeah.
Do you think you'll...
No, I think so, purely because it's been... What I've gained and learned from this experience... I honestly think through keeping on with it, even if it is just for fun, I think it will remind me of these values that I've learned, and I will continue to be able to take them into the real world. So yeah, I do think.
A lot of your subscribers, I know they're going to be sitting there wondering, because you're going to sort of have been away for so long.
Yeah.
Seeing the little interview you did with John Cena, but there was not a lot on the channel. You just sort of took a massive break. They're going to be thinking, is he back for good? Yeah. Is he going to do... Are we going to get the old Joe Weller back? Which I don't think we are, to be honest with you, looking at you now. But are we going to get a new Joe Weller who is back on YouTube regularly? Yeah. Or have you not decided any of that yet?
So that's the thing. Where obviously my mind has been entirely just on this fight. I haven't really made a plan of exactly what I'm going to do regarding YouTube. Just naturally, where I have been dedicating, that hasn't been... I haven't had the time to sort of really think about that. But
afterwards, you're gonna have to think about it. Yeah,
like definitely. That's the thing. I don't want it to come across like I'm saying, oh yeah, I'm, you know, from what I've said before with you and stuff, that I'm done with YouTube. I never want to do that. Like I say, I want to be professional with it and do whatever is best for me. And I know that sounds very general and a bit cliche, but I think simply looking at it like that, and not looking, oh, what should I do that's popping or what's going to do well? Because if I believe in myself and I believe whatever I do and truly become obsessed and passionate about will turn out good, then that's all that matters.
One of the things that is in keeping with this whole subject of sport on YouTube is you and JJ together have got the responsibility to, and we've seen a lot of YouTubers have let us down lately, and you know it's like one YouTuber does something dumb, we all look like idiots.
Yeah.
We're kind of relying on the pair of you to like hold a good standard here and make us look good. Do you feel that? Do you feel like you've got a responsibility to the rest of the community, or is that not even entering your head?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, it is essentially, we are representing YouTube here.
Because mainstream are going to be laughing at you. Before you get in the ring, they're all going to sort of hope that this is a joke.
Yeah, no, of course. But that's the thing, and obviously when you look back at their press conference, that kind of falls into what the mainstream want. Oh, we're out of control, we have no morals, we're just coming out with all this stuff. And certainly the way I'm going to conduct myself, like I say, I want to be professional, I want to be respectful. Like I say, I've not got any bad intentions of trying to do any dirty on JJ. I just want to go there, demonstrate what I'm about and what I've done and how I've grown, and that's that.
Still though, as much as you're speaking professionally, you're still human.
Yeah.
And JJ being the tricky lad he can be might try and wind you up.
Yeah, no, of course.
Because everyone's sort of talking about the mental, Joe Weller phrases and whatever. Are you prepared for that? Have you got a sort of mind state where you're like, whatever he does, I'm just going to zone out and
that's the thing. I'm not just going to obviously just sit there and go, I can't hear you, JJ. Like, you know what I mean? It's not going to be something like that. It's more of just going to be, look, focus on what's important. Like right now, we can do all the talking, he can say all these things, but it doesn't actually, like, the time for that is done, sort of thing. You know?
What surprised me about you in the past, I'm thinking of the Jamie Carragher moment, to be honest with you. I know it's not your most favourite YouTube moment, but one thing that I took away from that as an older lad to you is, fuck me, there's no fear in this kid at all. At that point, you hadn't been through all the boxing training. Do you feel a bit more of the fear than you used to? Or is it healthy, or is it manageable? Or what is your sort of relationship with the fear of going into a fight with someone? Because I remember that day, I was looking at you and there was just nobody home. You were like, I'll fight him, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is, I take it back to what I said at the beginning regarding getting in there and being pushed to your absolute limit. Now, you can put on, when I say put on, you can believe, you got what it takes and all that. But at the end of the day, I eventually came against someone who did get the better of me and kicked the shit out of me. Honestly. And that, I'd say more than anything, that's what can install the fear of like, okay, now I know it. Now I know it feels like to, take it.
Did you is that where a lot of this confidence is coming from though, as well as, and I'm still here?
And that's what I'm saying. That's literally what I was about to say. It's the fact of like, okay, yeah, I have the fear. You naturally get that emotion of shit, I don't want to get that again. And it's how you deal with that. Do you just run away and go, nah, that's it? Or do you face it? And through facing it and overcoming multiple challenges like a day, like I've said, that's what gives me the confidence. It's not just an ego thing. Oh, I'm better than JJ. Oh, I'm not even thinking about JJ. It's the fact of that I've literally, on a daily basis now for months, proven to myself what I'm actually about. That's where the confidence comes from.
YouTube is a fucking bubble at the end of the day, mate. And once you're in it, it's sort of nothing else sort of matters. Yeah. And I know you were like addicted to it, as we all have been. But now you've totally removed yourself from that. How has your perspective changed now, looking at that from a boxer's perspective?
Well, that's the thing. As good as obviously like the whole YouTube world is, and it can be really fun and rewarding. I do agree that it doesn't give a true reflection of reality like I have learned through doing something that is very, very real. I think definitely going forward now, it's going to give me a different perspective. I think saying that though, when I talk about like how I've learned through this experience, like no matter what, doing what you need to do and getting the job done, I feel with YouTube you can still, you know, coast along without actually getting a job done. And I think that is where I was maybe going wrong before. Like you're still, you know, you can still get views, you can still get all that without actually putting the work in. And I think I was going a bit wrong. I was like, okay, I'm getting these views, I'm doing all that, but I don't feel like I'm putting the work into my best of my ability and getting that. Do you know what I mean?
Speaking as someone who had a proper job where I was doing 12-hour days working offshore before coming to YouTube, I've come into YouTube and I feel like I've excelled very fast compared to a lot of people around me because I had a work ethic.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm looking around and like I'm seeing a lot of these lads who are taking, literally putting 35% in, but because the game they're playing is trending or the topic they're talking about is trending, they're still getting the views. But I don't want to just trend out. I don't want to do that. I want to put 100% in so that, like you say, I can look at myself in the mirror and say I've given that.
Yeah.
And I feel like coming back to YouTube, if that's what's in store for you, you're more like a working man now because you put actual graft in.
It's that work ethic.
Yeah.
It's that, you know, no matter what, you've got that work ethic about you. And definitely that more than anything is what I feel like I've installed into myself now. And yeah, man, I look back and I'm like, how the fuck did I not clock that before? But yeah.
But until you have to get up.
Yeah, exactly.
In YouTube, it's a luxury.
Yeah.
It's a luxury lifestyle. Do I get up and do a video today or not? I don't know. I'd take a day off.
Yeah.
Whereas the only thing that would have ever gotten you out of bed to the point of where you have to is I'm going to fight in front of 8,000 people. Yeah. How does the crowd and all of that? So you're training and it's just you and a coach and a sparring partner and all of that. All of a sudden, and I know you've been in front of crowds before and you've sung and doing all sorts of performances. Yeah. Now you're taking punches in front of people. Yeah. Do you think you're just going to zone that out, or are you going to be aware of it?
That's the thing. Obviously, we're not going to know entirely for sure until we do it. Like, I'm not going to sit and be like, yeah, it's fine. But at the end of the day, all I know is that how I've prepared in the ring and in the gym. I take, when I say comfort, it's like the opposite of comfortable. But when I say take comfort, I mean being in that ring I'm comfortable in the ring. So the people are there, but whether they're not there, when I'm in the ring and I'm doing my thing, that's all I'm focused on. And I think that literally being able to take that directly into this scenario is it's only come from doing it repetitively, doing it on a daily basis.
That's martial arts in general. It's like you have to train your brain to react a certain way so that in chaos, you still react in a comfortable way.
Exactly.
And that's what you're calm in the chaos now. Exactly. Is that how it feels?
Yeah. Before
all of this happened, you were famous for your disco muscles, you know? You're training to look good. Now it's functional. How has that been for you in terms of a totally different type of training?
Oh, mate. Like, at the beginning, obviously, like, I thought, I got a bit of strength, got a bit of fitness. It's a completely different ballgame. Like, it is completely different. Obviously now, you know, some people could look and go, okay, yeah, your arm still looks the same, but my arm would do that like 20 times before, literally with no weight, and be burning. So it's all about, like you said, functional exercise, functional movements, not about what you look like or, you know, if you've got the six pack or whatever. It's how are those abs going to be used? Because before, okay, I had the six pack, but I was doing an exercise that didn't actually require core strength. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Even if it may look similar, you know, on the outside. So yeah, that's been massive, almost changing. Like normally you can take an average person and make them one thing. I had to almost reverse and then move on to that.
Because you've been built for explosive 10-second strength.
Exactly.
Which is weight training. You're holding your breath practically. Whereas now it's not anaerobic, it's aerobic strength there that you're looking for.
It's a mixture of both. Yeah. Because you've got to be explosive. You've got to almost do anaerobic behaviours but whilst maintaining
That breathing.
and not burning out and being able to last a round. So
The rounds thing, it's going to be a 6-round fight.
yeah, 6 3-minute rounds.
How many hours a day is it normal for you to spend in the gym?
So 8 hours.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. It's basically my full-time job. That's why obviously I haven't been doing anything else. Obviously it's split into strength and conditioning training, boxing specific training, physio, rehab for the knee.
You must be eating so much to manage all of this.
5,000 calories a day.
Wow.
And more.
That's not like you though. I mean, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like you always were like on a diet, hardly eating at all. Yeah. Has it been hard to train your body to absorb that much food?
I'd say honestly, like one of the hardest things has been eating.
Yeah.
I've had to, on a daily basis, force feed. Like that is just how it is. Getting the calories in, or else I can't train because
you're not recovering.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't have that energy, and I felt that because at the beginning, I tried to almost do it because I kind of wanted to maintain the more ripped physique and really low percentage of body fat.
Did you accept that?
I was like, in order to do what I need to do, I'm gonna have to just eat, and like it is what it is. But like I say, do whatever it takes.
You've always had a really open relationship with your subscribers.
Yeah.
I think that's what's made you different from a lot of people, is how you've cried in front of them, you've laughed, you've done everything.
Yeah.
How do you think that they are going to see you after this fight, when they see the documentary and everything that's gone into what you've been through?
Well, for me, and like going into this and this whole process, I really wanted to represent the fact of, you know, it's not about where you're from, you know, or even what you're doing. If you really are passionate and obsessed with it and put in the work, then you can achieve. And I think that's how my viewers will be able to, like I've spoken about along those sort of lines like before, but I think this will really, like, hopefully show, you know, put it into action and demonstrate that what I'm saying is, you know, legit, and I really do mean what I say, you know.
Talking about KSI and everything that's gone on between you and him in the past, I mean, it's sort of come almost full circle. He sort of discovered you, and then you became mates, and then obviously a falling out happened. Other friends have been involved in all of this. We're right about to get into the ring with each other here. What are your thoughts and feelings towards him personally now?
There's absolutely nothing I feel towards him. It's not personal. I don't hate KSI. I will just, when I'll be standing there, I'll just be ready, focused to do the job that I need to do. It won't be how much I hate him. It won't be how much I want to hurt him and, you know, do him dirty or whatever. No, like, and that's what I'm saying. Completely detaching emotion away from this situation.
You and him seem to be talking very differently. I watched a podcast that they did, the Sidemen, recently, and I was surprised at how confident he was. He was talking as if it was going to be easy, and I know a lot of people will have seen that. What does it make you feel when he says, I mean, I know that this is going to happen, I bet any money this is going to be a walk in the park? He's writing you off.
Realistically, mate, he could have just read that from an absolute boxing cliche. Like, he's just whipped out everyone out of the book. Oh, I've already won. Oh, there's no chance. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's the obvious stuff to say going into a boxing fight. Really, and I'm realising now, I'm no expert, but the sort of stuff that you'd come out with if you don't really know too much about boxing. Do you know what I mean? Or what it's about.
He's saying he's taller, bigger, stronger, reach advantage, things of that nature. What do you think about the physical advantages that people say he's got over you?
That's the thing. There's an advantage and disadvantage to everything. Like you say, Tyson, a smaller fighter in most of his fights. Obviously, he is Tyson, but still, you know, I mean, he ended up using with his style, using that to his advantage. Whereas, yeah, I mean, he's taller. He was a lot heavier. He's obviously lost a lot of weight, so I don't know if there's going to be too much in that now.
I think he said he was about 84, 85 kilograms, something along those lines.
Yeah.
What are you? Do you
I'm
know?
going to be about 82, 83.
Oh, well then, so
So-
there shouldn't be too much difference,
it's-
actually.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too much. And that's the thing, like as well. Obviously, I'm training with all kinds of guys, like heavier, taller, smaller, faster, like bigger, stronger. Every sort of kind of guy. I'm trying to make sure I'm prepared for.
One of the things you said when I came in, as you were like, "How much are you weighing?" I bet you could hurt someone.
Yeah.
So you now are very aware of how hard a punch feels.
Yeah.
Has there been a few moments where you've taken a right good dig and thought to
course.
yourself, "Fuck this!
Oh,
What am I doing here?"
Of course, mate. Like the first ever sparring session I did, you saw the absolute levels. You know, you can have all the desire in the world to win, but obviously at that point I hadn't learnt the skills, put in the work to learn the skills. So it gets shown up and you feel it. And I felt like a pussy, mate. I'm not no joke. I felt like, am I just full of shit? Is this for me? Like really? And when obviously I spoke about that with my coaches and stuff, it's like use this as motivation to get to where you need to be. Don't try and block out how you feel right now. Really take in how you feel right now, and embrace it and use it to your advantage.
You never want to feel that way again.
No.
And how has your coach helped you? Not obviously in just a boxing sense. We know he's an expert, but in that mental journey, has he brought you along?
Yeah. So
You've got two coaches, haven't you?
So that's the thing. I got 3. A strength and conditioning coach, Max. Boxing specific, which is Dan. And Navid, who's sort of a mixture of the both, but he is really good at sort of the whole mental side of things. And he's really opened up my eyes just as much as I've learnt myself. Obviously, his third person point of view, and being able to work with me alongside. Like I just feel like I've opened up my brain in so many ways through working with these guys, and they've all supported me. That's the thing. Like in every way, they've supported and helped me grow. Like no way would I have been able to do this all by myself.
And if you had to look at the fight, and without obviously giving away your game plan or anything like that, if you had to say the main reason I'm going to win this fight is, what would be the end of that sentence?
I have absolutely dedicated, committed, and put more work in than my opponent.
Fucking good answer for me, mate. Love it. I have to say, whatever happens, win, lose or draw, I'm fucking over the moon with how things have gone for you. I can see you've grown so much as a bloke. It's fucking mental. It's absolutely mad.
For real.
I just hope that I don't really care if you win or lose, to be honest with you. Like whatever happens, like I'd like you to win, obviously, but I'm not. I just want you to be happy with how you did, and walk away being like. And I think you will already. I already know you will, because I know there's no way you're going to go in there and let yourself down. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. All
There
good.
you go. All good.